Some good news to look forward to appear on the horizon at Stamford Bridge, as Chelsea has announced Geovany Quenda from Sporting as one of their two new signings alongside Dario Esugo from the same club. We're taking a look at the first name, as Quenda will be joining for a pricey fee of up to £44 million. But is he worth this price, and how exactly can he help the Blues? Chelsea has struggled in the last months after an incredible first half of their campaign in the Premier League, and Maresca's team was at one point even put into the discussion for the title as they were behind Liverpool just by a couple of points. And for some reason right now fans are heavily criticizing the manager and Chelsea's inability to perform well constantly, which resulted in them dropping points on a lot of occasions as they sit fourth in the league while being in the massive battle for the Champions League spots this year. And as much as I'm trying to understand their situation, I believe that Chelsea fans are being generally impatient because of the high standards set during the Abramovich ownership. And these new transfers just continue to prove the idea that Chelsea are taking the long run, and this will frankly be their strategy for the upcoming years. Buying young prospects and breathtaking talents, developing them into world-class players, and eventually winning silverware with some of them and selling others for a lot of money. Similar to Brighton and many other EPL clubs' policy, because due to the financial fair play rules, a club must generate a certain amount of money. It cannot just spend and spend and spend. But since Geovany Quenda is already impressing even the biggest teams in Europe, Chelsea needed to pay a huge transfer fee to the Portuguese club. You don't even have to pay a fee to subscribe to my channel, and it will be highly appreciated by me. It's a win-win. So 44 million for a 17-year-old, he must be good. His first year in football he spends at Damiens when he's not even 10 at the time. He absolutely impresses everyone, even though at the beginning he plays with jeans because his kid is still not ready. Next season he joins Benfica and stands out so much that you can't miss him on the pitch even if you don't understand a single thing about football. Fabio Roque, who was his youth coach at Sporting later, lost 3 times to Benfica in a single season, and each time Quenda scored the decisive goal. Sky Sports mentioned that when it was already known that the youngster would join Sporting, Roque got close to him and told him, "You should stop killing us every time." And Geovany responded, "You shouldn't worry anymore." And that coming from the mouth of a 12-year-old is pretty ballsy. At Sporting he just continues to do what he does best, and at an academy game against rivals Benfica, having had a player sent off at halftime, everybody seems worried. He just goes to his coach Roque and says, "You don't have to be worried, we're going to win," and goes on to score the winning goal for a 1-0 at full time. I mean, an absolute menace. Imagine being 15 or so and not only having the confidence to say all this, but after that to back it up with incredible performances. Everybody knew the youngster is special, but he's not the only special talent out there. How can he help Chelsea? Firstly, let's keep in mind that Geovany will not join the Blues until after the end of the next season, so a lot of different aspects can change because a year and a half is a terribly long time. But even at this age, Quenda already showcased his immaculate abilities on the biggest stage. He gave an extraordinary pass to the big star Viktor Gyökeres in a famous 4-1 victory over Manchester City in the Champions League earlier this season, and creative thinking is far from the best qualities that he possesses. This man literally breathes football and seems like he feeds off of winning. That is why no matter who stands against him, he won't be impressed by name or club. His only desire is giving his heart for the team and being able to win. Nothing else is an option. Comparisons of course are guaranteed, as the names he's being put alongside are Bukayo Saka and Lamine Yamal. Of course, that leads us to one of his biggest weapons. He's a killer on 1v1 situations. He's incredibly fast and is familiar to scoring goals, and I mean important ones. His skills in this area come from the fact that he played most of his youth career as a right winger. That shouldn't surprise us because, as I said, he literally was making everybody else on his team and the opposing one look like they haven't touched the ball in their life. So even if I'm there as a coach in the academy, I'm putting that kid in attack. Each time he receives the ball at Sporting, it's a constant danger for the opposition player, because if he's even half a second late, then Geovany will put the ball on his left foot, sprint alongside the line because he's staying very wide to create him enough space, then cut inside the box, and boom, you've conceded a goal. Simple as that. But something differs him from these class players. Something that even they don't have, and it's the work rate in defense. Sometimes when you're really high up the pitch, it's a lot harder to get back and help the teammates in getting back possession, but he does it so often, and his short period of playtime under current Man United coach Ruben Amorim helped a lot to improve that aspect. At Sporting he has been used not only as a right winger, but also as the wing back on both sides of the pitch. That further improved his defending, but the main part of it is that he has so much energy, and it seems like he actually gives his all. Not like some players who walk around the pitch while waiting for the next attack. He's immersed in the attack to follow and always ready. Yes, but before everything else, his thought process is concentrated into preventing the ball going in his net, and every team is in need of such players. The last thing that the Blues are certainly looking forward to is that Quenda is versatile and can play on both flanks, in attack or midfield, and that makes him an amazing squad player, because Chelsea's whole attack is filled with good dribblers who eventually get tired. That is an exhausting thing to do, and having a rotational player like that to come in full of energy and influence the game both in the final and on third is a privilege I'm sure the future Chelsea in season 26-27 is going to be happy to have. Because who knows, at that time it is very likely to have the Blues as title contenders. But there is still time till that moment, and Maresca will have to figure this and a whole lot of other stuff out in the process.